Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Terra Classic LUNC, seeing what's going on. Obviously, got a lot of requests from this one based on its most recent increase. Doing fairly well in the overall sense of things. It did break this slower or smaller time frame descending trend. We still have a larger time frame descending trend we need to break above. We're probably a few days away from that at best. But we're going to talk about what it takes to get there, and a little bit more about this Elliott wave theory, and obviously this double bottom pattern we see here as well, that little breakout. So cool stuff, absolutely looking like it wants to continue, but we're going to find out if it will, and obviously some key levels. We need to pay attention to volume and understand those specifics as well. So if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I just love teaching people to trade. I make daily technical analysis videos and have been doing this for quite some time. Been teaching and trading for over 20 years now, and if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. We do have a summer sale going on right now, and you can benefit from our trades. Obviously, I share all of my trades with you, where we got 22% all ground in 2 weeks, 13% from Lena in 2 weeks. These are 5x trades, keep that in mind. But same thing here, Blue Zell, 163% in 9 days. So it's been a really, really good week for us here in the overall sense for our swing trades. But for lack of better terms, at this point, we're looking for some new trades here today, and this Terra Classic might be a good one for us. Okay. So again, if you want part of that, obviously link down below. We do also have a Twitter, Telegram account as well. Everything is available. All the resources are here for you. A lot of good education too in our Discord. So be sure to check that out. Looking forward to work with you. That said, though, with Terra Classic, we want to talk about the obvious elephant in the room here, which does start on the daily. Okay, so let's go ahead and work our way down here. Let's get some easier views here going on here. So what we're looking at here in the overall sense here is that the current price point, if we draw this current level all the way over, one of the most lowest points that this coin has gone to, roughly about 5,600, is previously back in June of 2020, or sorry, 2022 rather, June 20th of 22. Okay, so it's been a while since we've seen that, obviously about a year and a half, but that was pretty much the time in which it spent the most amount of time at this level. Okay, so with that being a retest of that range, it's a good chance it's going to sustain itself and hold itself as a support, and the price should continue higher from here. That's a strong consideration. But what we also want to consider is the overall sense of where things are at right now. Okay, in other words, where we're at presently with the amount of volume. So let's take a quick look at that. The price action is consolidating exactly at that level where we have the most amount of volume. Okay, so that can work as a resistance or a support. The fact that we wicked above it is a positive sign, because we broke through key level resistance and likely are going to bounce off that support level. So moving forward, we can see that 0.382 on Fibonacci, roughly 6,100, will be a potential support level. We want to close above that today to have any luck, but for lack of better terms, that's a good place to be. Okay, so we're consolidating right at the volume support or resistance. So again, if that's the resistance and we break through it, turn support. If we broke through it already, which we kind of have, it should bounce off of that level as a support. Okay, we'll see on smaller time frames how much what that looks like. But for right now, we got a couple of things working slightly against us. So let's talk about that. We got money flow index is high. That's great. It's allowing for the price action to increase. We can also see here generally that the RSI is testing that 50 level. So if we close right where we're at presently or higher, 6,100, that'll give us confirmation that we're in good shape to be able to continue much further. We could potentially see rejection off of 50 on the RSI, which would push the price action down. So if you're going to swing trade, might recommend a couple of entry targets at a lower price point, including the current, so you can average your price down. That's how we structure our trades for the most part too. Just kind of give you perspective on, just say a previous trade, for example. We like to find multiple entries that average our price down, then we take targets on the way up and a stop loss that is roughly in the range of 10 to 20% down. I know what you're thinking, that sounds crazy. But we're not trading with 20, 30, 50x leverage like most people do, because you get wrecked that way. We trade with 5x leverage, low position size, safe trades, where it can allow for fluctuation to occur, especially when you confirm you've found the bottom. I'm confident in thinking here, or believing, that Terra Classic shouldn't go much lower than it's at right now. At least this most recent low of about, just say 5,600, it shouldn't go much lower than that. While we do have some liquidity in that level that could be swept, the worst case scenario is the price comes down here and then bounces. We're in pretty good shape either way, no matter what happens. Okay, so again, I'm feeling confident that we're in good shape to not see much lower than 5,600. Are we going to break this current resistance level at about 61? Well, let's go ahead and see if the smaller time frames tell us anything. So looking at the 4-hour time frame here, let's go ahead and just quickly identify. We are retracing, of course, pulling back after not an overextension, but we did run about 30, somewhere in the range of 24 to 28 hours into that continuation pattern. So the price is pulling back naturally. 0.5, 0.382 are two common retracement areas that we will see. So if we take a look at this here, we can see roughly right about 6,000 is a likely bouncing point based on Elliott wave. We can see that same scenario here as well if you look at the actual 1 hour time frame that shows that we've already hit our bottom. Okay. Now we can't confirm that, but we can see here roughly that we're at a 5. We've consolidated nicely. So there's a good chance we could see a bounce here. I'm more so leaning towards the price action pulling back maybe a little further, because a lot of times what will happen is it'll pull back to the most recent high, which is that 0.5 level at about 6,000. Okay, so most recent high, oftentimes retested as low before it takes off. That's what we're looking for. If we take a look at the RSI, we got a little bit more room for downside too. We overextended ourselves past 70, price is roughly about 65, 60, and we could see a digression, so to speak, where the price comes down and bounce off that level. It doesn't always bounce off those levels. They're just more so these magnetic ranges that allow the price action to kind of confirm for us that we are bullish or bearish. So on the 4 hour time frame, we can confirm we have a MACD convergence and we are above 50 in the RSI, so we're pretty much bullish right now. Again, smaller time frame bullish. Do not get this misinterpreted that we're just going to go to the moon tomorrow. That doesn't happen. It rarely happens, okay? It does happen, just not super common, okay? So that said, though, we are starting to lose momentum on the MACD. All the more reason to consider an average entry at about 6,000 instead of the current level right now. And we could totally get a bounce right now. The price could go up. That's perfectly fine. If so, missed out on opportunity, that's okay. You got to get used to the fact that you're going to miss opportunities in trading. It's just what happens. Trading is literally a sea of missed opportunities. You can never get them all. Try to be patient, learn how to adjust. Again, I have private trading videos in our premium groups there. So if you are curious on what I prefer to utilize and how I manage my risk, I share that with you, of course. But for right now, I'd like to give you little tidbits here and there so you understand kind of what's going on. All right, so we've confirmed that the 4 hour is pulling back, but we're not overextended by any stretch. We're likely to see a bounce off 0.5 Fibonacci at about 6,000. We're at 6,100 right now. Based on volume, we can see there's a decent amount of volume support in the recent past. If we scroll this out a little bit further, you can see the largest amount of volume is right where the price action is at right now. So we may not see that pull back to 6,000 because you see here previously, a lot of volume in this range here, okay? So that's a good sign. That's very helpful. It could imply that this could be the bottom too at 6,100. Now, again, don't misinterpret when I say bottom because I'm mostly referring to the fact that the price will likely range in these areas here, okay? So once more, at this in this scenario here, we need to come to terms with the fact the price could still pull back because a lot of times there are liquidity levels and fair value gaps that need to get filled. Okay, so again, the price could literally gap all the way down here to about 5,800, maybe even 5,600, and then bounce off that level. Okay, all the more reason not to go all in at this point, and do not, by any stretch, go 50x, 100x leverage at this point because it's not a guarantee it's going to recover. Okay, so again, higher leverage, more likelihood you're going to get liquidated, so recommend keeping that number pretty low if you're going to use it, okay? Anyways, to summarize here, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Apologize, getting a little wordy here. We want to go ahead and look at the Ichimoku cloud and kind of see and confirm here again. Let's pull this back up once more, and we can see here that the cloud is consolidating right at that 0.5, 0.382 Fibonacci level. That's a very common characteristical consolidation area, and we do see the most amount of volume usually in those ranges too. Again, we zoom out, we will see the volume reflected in this area. So it does imply that 6,000 to 6,100, once more, is looking good. So again, kind of looking at the cloud here, letting us know that we're in pretty good shape there. Taking a long at 6,000, 6,100 would be appropriate. Keep in mind though, lagging span is coming close here to an end. So we could very well see that this, the storm may be shutting. Okay, basically telling us that this momentous trend is discontinuing for the moment. Now it's not a guarantee, but if you want to be ultra safe, you'd wait for confirmation and wait for the price action to break back above with that lagging span and ensure that the conversion line's above the baseline here. Okay, for lack of better terms, what that just implies is that another 12 to 24 hours might be appropriate to wait to see if the price pulls back any further before you take entry. So me personally, if I were to take entry, I think 6,000 would be appropriate, perhaps even a secondary target at about 0.618, 5,900, and maybe 5,600 as a low bottom to give us a nice little average here at this range, about 58. I know it seems kind of crazy to average price down. It's kind of a dollar cost average strategy, but it works very effectively for swing trading. If you're short-term holding and you're just going to be in and out in the same day, don't worry about it. That doesn't matter. But, again, different strokes for different folks. I prefer not to sit here and watch the charts all day and stress out knowing that I'm going to get liquidated in moments, when, you know, I'd much rather get liquidated days or months down the road just because things change, right? Instead of actually getting hit really hard really fast. Again, different strokes for different folks. If you're all about that instant gratification, you do you, right? It just doesn't work for me. So again, congrats to our community members for awesome trade profits here for, well, actually some of our day trades here. We got what, we took some nice Litecoin profits, XRP profits, and obviously, again, to clarify, Lena, Algorand, and Bluezell, nice 163%. So I just like to highlight the positive stuff here, because honestly, there's a lot of bad trades that can happen, but we try to minimize that, right? So again, good risk tolerance. You're in good shape. Again, congrats and very well done to a lot of our community members who are trading with higher leverage. Although I don't recommend it, I think it is good to good to do what works best for you, right? Not everyone has this mentality. I don't know what that means. Just something we were talking about earlier today. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Hope you learned something here today. Comment below if you did. Join our Telegram, Discord, or Twitter, and help us grow our community. Thanks again so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.